Today, I'm going to be ranking some of the most important Mario characters from the most good to the most evil. For this video, I will just be going with main series characters as well as characters typically in sports and party games, so no RPG characters or anything like that, since I do want to do a big video going over those later if this does well. And lastly, even though we are covering seemingly every major Mario character, it's impossible for us to cover literally every character because of how many there are. That being said, let's get into the list. Starting off with the purest of Mario characters, we have Yoshi. He left his tribe to go on a dangerous adventure to return a baby that just fell out of the sky to the store. He not only risked life and limb to do this, but also has to put up with baby Mario's annoying crying. We've also seen time after time Yoshi sacrifice himself to give Mario an extra jump, yet he never once complains. Yoshi will do anything to aid you, as he even gives you 1-up mushrooms when you talk to him on the roof in Super Mario 64. We thought about a few other characters for the spot on the list, but just couldn't go with anyone else except Yoshi. The second best Mario character in terms of goodness is Rosalina. Rosalina may not have as many notable appearances as other characters on this list, but that doesn't make her any less good. She's very mysterious at first, as you know almost nothing about her, and one of your first interactions with her has you getting the ability to spin, which is already a good start, but it goes on from there. Throughout Super Mario Galaxy, you can go to the library and find her reading her story in small increments each time. You learn about the loss and hardship she's gone through, and how she got to where she is during the events of Galaxy, and just recently we found out more with some new pages in the Mario Galaxy Remaster. Without Rosalina, you wouldn't be able to rescue Princess Peach and save the galaxy from Bowser. Right alongside Rosalina, we have Luma, or rather the Lumas. These little star children are some of the most selfless characters in the Mario universe. They help guide Mario across galaxies, risk their lives to stop Bowser, and in one of the most emotional scenes in any Mario game, they willingly sacrifice themselves to save the universe. They may not talk much, but their loyalty and courage shine brighter than any power star. Next up, we have Luigi. Luigi is often in his brother's shadow and only has like 6 games of his own while his brother has like 200, but I would argue that Luigi is a better person than his brother. He can be timid and a bit of a scaredy cat, but he puts these fears aside to aid Mario on multiple journeys, as well as completely saving him from 3 different mansions. He went face to face with hundreds, if not thousands of ghosts to save Mario from being trapped in a portrait. And Luigi also isn't an attention hog like Mario. Just does what he can to help. You gotta feel bad for him when Mario just decides not to bring him on vacation to the beautiful Isle Delfino, and when he doesn't bring Luigi to the castle for some cake. Yet Luigi doesn't let this bother him. Really, the only bad thing we have found that Luigi has done is when he was completely controlled by Dementio and became Mr. L, but that is not Luigi's fault, so it won't be held against him here. Also, just to clarify, events in RPGs will be counting towards these characters. I'm just not going to be talking about characters that originated in RPGs. Next up on this list, we have Flood. While Flood only plays an important role in one game, you would also not be able to complete your journey without him. Flood approaches Mario to offer his assistance, and throughout pretty much the entire game, he has your back. Or is on your back, I should say. At the end of the game, after you finally defeat Bowser, you find Flood damaged on the ground. Right before he shuts down, the last thing he asks is if he was of assistance to Mario. Flood is a true character of selflessness, as his only goal was to help others. Luckily, this isn't the end for Flood as he gets repaired, but it doesn't make his sacrifice any less important. Now we have Polterpup. Despite being a ghost dog, he's one of the purest souls in the series. He constantly helps Luigi throughout his haunted mansion adventures, often saving him from traps or cheering up when things get rough. Still, given he's technically a ghost bound to EGAT, who I'll get to later, raises the question of where exactly he came from, which adds a slight eerie layer beneath all of that, but still, he's just shown to be a loyal companion, and he's a friendly dog. How could I not have him high on this list? Now we have Toadsworth. Toadsworth has proven to be a very loyal servant to Princess Peach since she was born, as confirmed by Mario and Luigi partners in time. He still does its best to do what's right, and it's also very impressive how he can still hit a baseball 400 feet at his age, as he does in Mario Super Sluggers, so he must be doing something right. Also, for some reason, it seems Nintendo has completely abandoned Toadsworth, so that's just really sad. Following Toadsworth, we have Toad, the regular Toad. Despite being one of the most common citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom, this little guy is anything but ordinary. He's always the first one to rush to Peach's aid and constantly risks his life to help Mario, whether it's carrying power-ups, guiding him through levels, or getting himself kidnapped in her place. Sure, he panics a lot, but he still steps up when it matters most. He's loyal, brave in his own way, and really doesn't get enough credit for all the times he's been collateral damage in Mario's adventures. Next up is Captain Toad. Captain Toad, who first appeared in Super Mario Galaxy, has a knack for treasure hunting and has given Mario quite a few stars along the way. Captain Toad doesn't seem to be selfish as he just gives the stars to you for free. However, he does get himself into some less than ideal situations and relies on Mario to rescue him, only to then give him the star, so we do have to bump him down a little bit for that. And finally, for the Toads I want to talk about in this video, we have Toadette. While she's just as adventurous as Captain Toad, she's also shown to be a bit more capable. She's been a racer, an explorer, and even the one to help introduce the Super Crown, which, let's just say, started a very weird internet trend. Still, Toadette's optimism and willingness to help make her one of the most genuinely kind-hearted characters in the Mario universe. Up next, we have Prince Florian. Making his debut recently in Super Mario Wonder, Prince Florian serves as the ruler of the Flower Kingdom and one of Mario's newest allies. From the very start, he's shown to be kind, polite, and incredibly grateful to the heroes for coming to help when Bowser turns his kingdom into a chaotic nightmare. Despite being small and a bit nervous, Florian never runs away from danger. He travels alongside Mario and the gang for the entire adventure, cheering them on and helping whenever he can. He doesn't fight directly, but his bravery lies in his heart, leading his people and keeping faith even when his world is literally transformed into something unrecognizable. Prince Florian might not have the raw heroism of Mario or the unshakable courage of Yoshi, but his compassion and leadership make him one of the most pure-hearted characters in the Mario world. And I think he could definitely move up if we see him in a few more appearances. Following one leader to another, we have Pauline. Until Odyssey, we didn't really know much about her. She's been kidnapped by Donkey Kong a few times, but that's about it. However, in Odyssey and later Bonanza, we see she's the mayor of New Donk City, a bustling metropolis with seemingly little crime. She would certainly be a better candidate for New York City mayor than some current candidates, of which of course New Donk City is based on. She even put on a performance for the city where she sings Jump Up Superstar with a band there with her, and just a few months ago we found out how she actually helped save New Donk City from King K. Rool. You could definitely move her up on this list, especially with Bonanza, but honestly, these past few I think are pretty much interchangeable. Next we have Princess Daisy. Daisy only requires Mario's help from being kidnapped just once, while Peach requires it seemingly 24/7. Daisy has never been shown to do anything bad. Most of the time she's just driving a cart or playing sports. She owns her own cruise ship, which must cost $1 billion at least, and she has no problem with letting her friends play some baseball on it. There isn't much more to say about Daisy, and that's why she's high on this list, but not higher than the previous ones. She hasn't been shown to do anything bad, but she really only has done a limited amount of really good things. And for the final princess on this list, we have the Sprixie Princesses from Super Mario 3D World. They don't do much, but seem to be doing a better job running their kingdom than in the Mushroom Kingdom. Each time you rescue one, they save you a lot of time by building you a pipe to move on to the next world for you. And at the end of the game, they even take the time to build you a rocket ship. The Sprixie Princesses seem to be very good-natured and have a strong work ethic, which is what puts them high on this list. We just really haven't seen them do too much else. Up next, we have the last of the good characters, Mario himself. Now, I was debating whether to put him in the good section or the morally questionable section, but if we're being honest, all the good he has done strongly outweighs the bad. Saved the world on multiple occasions, rescued many people in his tenure, and will often defend others from harm. That's all well and good, and we could talk about those actions all day, but why is Mario doing this? Fame and fortune could be part of it. He's licensed his image to a toy company, which has led to the kidnapping of Pauline. He's also famous around the Mushroom Kingdom and has a reputation to uphold. Mario has a pretty big ego and hasn't been the best older brother to Luigi at times. When Luigi finally got some recognition by winning a tennis trophy, and thinks Mario is coming up to congratulate him, Mario starts stomping on his shoe for some reason. And as mentioned before, he's left out Luigi on many occasions, and it's not explained why. Lastly, Mario has done some really cruel things to animals back in the 80s with Donkey Kong. He kept Donkey Kong in a cage and then tried to kill his son when he came to rescue him. Even though Mario has done plenty of questionable things, even if some aren't for the most altruistic of reasons, still shows Mario is a good person, but is just flawed like the rest of us and has let some fame go to his head. Moving on to the gray area, we will be starting off with Princess Peach. Peach seems to be just an innocent princess cursed with some bad luck by having Bowser always kidnap her, but we need to take a deeper look at this. Peach is a princess and seems to be a very wealthy one at that. Surely she could hire better security and defense measures knowing Bowser will constantly try to kidnap her, but she doesn't. She knows Mario is always going to save her, and it seems like she just wants the attention from Mario going on all these big adventures just for her. She also hasn't done much to protect her kingdom either, as it gets attacked constantly. She puts her citizens at risk, whether it's intentional or not, and doesn't seem to ever learn from anything that happens. With all this being said, she still does do some good things, like bake a cake to say thank you to Mario. Unfortunately, that ended up with her being kidnapped as well. She also did help Mario save the world in the Thousand Year Door and Super Paper Mario, and she even rescued Mario once in Super Princess Peach. It seems like luck is just often not on her side, as there is no way she could have known something like Isle Delfino was vandalized when she thought she was just taking some people on a nice vacation, or when she took the gang to the hotel in Luigi's Mansion 3. She's very similar to Mario in a lot of ways, in the sense that while they both do questionable things, it seems on the inside they are both good people, but have let outside factors make them do some morally questionable things. Up next we have Professor Elvin Gad, better known as Professor Egad. He's the world's lead authority on ghosts, but also dabbles in time travel and water jetpacks. Egad has done a lot of good by helping Luigi capture the ghosts, even if it is for his own research, and also played a big part in helping the brothers and partners in time. But the most questionable thing he has done is in a game he doesn't actually appear in, Super Mario Sunshine. Blood in the water nozzles are his technology, but why would he leave all of that on the island? Did he have inside knowledge of what would happen, but stayed silent due to wanting Mario to showcase his technology? That just seems all too likely. Following Egad, we have Cappy. While Cappy may seem just like a friendly Cap, he's so much more. He has the power to control someone and do whatever he wants. How has he gotten this dark magic? We can only speculate. Luckily, we don't see Cappy do anything bad in Odyssey, but we can't just ignore that he has this dark magic and takes over beings and puts them in danger with not a care in the world. Now we have a character who's been in the spotlight recently, Donkey Kong. A lot of people still think of Donkey Kong as the original villain from the arcade game, but that's not actually the same character. The Donkey Kong who threw barrels at Mario back in '81 is now known as Cranky Kong, while the modern Donkey Kong we know today was originally Donkey Kong Jr. That's right, the Donkey Kong we'd see in Donkey Kong Country, Mario Kart, and Smash is actually the son of the original. And remember, in Donkey Kong Jr., Mario was even the antagonist. He captured who we now know as Cranky and forced the young DK to rescue him, which really flips the script on who the villain was back then. In more recent years, Donkey Kong has been shown as a hero in his own right. Sure, he's had some questionable moments, like stealing the Mario Minis in March of the Minis, and kidnapping Pauline. Also, we recently learned him and Pauline are friends as he saved her in Bonanza, so who even knows with this anymore? Like, I know someone will proudly proclaim how this is wrong and write a comment with just pure anger, but most of this DK lore is just speculation, so who knows? You don't know, I don't know, it's just all speculation. But anyway, his motivations seem to be more mischievous than evil. At his core, Donkey Kong is a family-driven leader who protects his home and friends on Donkey Kong Island, and he really just likes bananas. Like, he's the leader of the bunch, you know him well, he's finally back to kick some tail, and he has stopped some truly evil forces like King K. Rool and other villains threatening his home. Donkey Kong might have started as a rival to Mario, but over time he's become one of Nintendo's most dependable heroes. And yeah, he's done plenty of questionable things, which is why I have him in the gray area, but I definitely think he is more good than evil. Now we have Nabbit. He's just a thief in New Super Mario Bros. U. He steals something and you chase him down and that's it. But New Super Luigi U, he's a playable character. He helps Luigi and the Toads on their dangerous journey. Doing this surely makes up for some of his actions, but I still wouldn't say it makes him a great guy or anything. It wasn't too long ago where he was just a no-good thief, so we have to bump Nabbit down a few spots for that. Last up for the great category, we have Birdo. Birdo, like Donkey Kong, started off as a villain. She was a recurring villain in Mario Bros. 2, but other than that, she really hasn't done anything bad. She performs for Mario and Sticker Star and has been seen out of play in Origami King. She also is very good friends with Yoshi, so clearly if that's the case, she has gotten better, as Yoshi would never surround himself with such bad company as an evil villain. She has surely done away with her evil ways, but we really haven't seen her do enough good to completely outweigh the bad, which is why she is low in the great category. And finally, we have the bad to evil category. We'll start off with characters that are more just bad, but not necessarily evil, and we'll finish with the worst of the worst in the Mario universe. Starting off this category, we have Wario. Wario was another character who started off as a villain, but slowly started to become more of a hero. Well, the hero of his own game, that is. He really is not a good guy, and is very selfish and greedy. Anytime he does something that is seemingly good, he's doing it for money. Wario really is just a bad guy, but not evil. He doesn't try to control the entire world or constantly rain down chaos, so that is why he's so low on the category of this list. And now we have his best friend, Waluigi. Like Wario, Waluigi is just mischievous and selfish. He also makes some questionable victory celebrations in Mario Strikers. Really, the only game Waluigi is the bad guy of is Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix. In the game, he steals the 4 music keys and Mario has to dance his way around to stop him. Yeah, it's a weird game. Waluigi is also no stranger to doing pranks with Wario. Most of these are harmless, but just think about it this way. If Waluigi was real, he would just be like a prank YouTuber or something. Unlike Wario though, Waluigi hasn't done anything good to make him a slightly better person, which is why we think he's a little worse than his friend. Next up we have the Koopalings and Boom Boom with them. All they really do is fight Mario because Bowser tells them to. They are complicit in his activities, but is it really all their fault? They were most likely adopted by Bowser when they were very young and don't know anything else. They just want to appease Bowser. They don't really do anything except fight Mario. They most likely have no part of the evil plans but just do what they're told. They're still definitely bad, but definitely not worse than the characters that follow. Next up, we have PD Piranha. PD is best known for Sunshine, but has appeared as a villain in Sticker Star as well. He doesn't really seem to have any goal, all he wants to do is kill you. You know he's very strong too, as he can hit a baseball 450 feet with ease with his arm, which is literally just a leaf. His smooth left-handed swing is what makes him one of the best hitters in Mario Super Sluggers. Sorry about that tangent, but we at Game Domain just really like Mario Super Sluggers. But anyway, PD is your prototypical boss encounter in a video game. Doesn't have a goal, just wants to stop you. Next we have Bowser Jr. He does a lot more than the Koopalings, including just wreaking havoc on an island and assisting with his father's evil deeds to a stronger degree. All he wants to do is have his father be proud of him, so can't be fully blamed for him for why he is the way that he is. We can only speculate about how he would act if he wasn't raised by Bowser, but he doesn't seem to show any remorse for his actions, so he still is very much evil. Now we have Wart from Super Mario Bros. 2. There isn't a lot of info on Wart, but we do know that he makes himself the ruler of Subcon and enslaves the inhabitants there. He's just a really evil guy. There isn't much more to say about him, as this is really his only notable appearance in a Mario game, although he does appear in Link's Awakening. Now we have the Bronze Medal of Evil with Kamek, Bowser's trusted Magic Koopa advisor. Kamek may not be as physically imposing as some other villains, but make no mistake, he's one of the smartest and most manipulative characters in the Mario universe. He's been pulling strings since Yoshi's Island, using dark magic to kidnap babies and terrorize entire kingdoms. Kamek is loyal to Bowser, sure, but his methods are far darker. He's the kind of villain who'd rather warp your mind than fight you head on. Now the Silver Medal of Evil goes to Bowser. Yes, he's surprisingly not number 1, and you will see why he isn't. Bowser's perhaps the most famous villain in all of video games, but we don't think he's the most evil in the Mario series. First, let's take a look at all the bad things he's done. He's kidnapped Peach like 100 times, tried to take over the world, the universe, tried to kill Mario more times than you can count, has forced his children to do his evil bidding, among many other things. He's just not a very nice guy. However, he has done good before and has shown to be reasonable on a few occasions. Throughout the Mario and Luigi series, he has been willing to work with the Mario brothers when there was an even greater threat. In Superstar Saga, he even lets them go with him on the airship as well as in Partners in Time. You even play as him in Bowser's Inside Story and Super Mario RPG. And there is one more game I left out where you play as Bowser, Super Paper Mario. When you see him in Chapter 3-1, you fight him, but afterwards, Peach convinces him to join your party on a quest to save the entire universe. That isn't it, however. We mentioned how Bowser has shown to be reasonable before, and saving the world is part of that. He's a bad guy, but he doesn't even want the world to be destroyed. In Chapter 8-2, after he defeats O-Chunks in a fight, the ceiling comes crashing down, but O-Chunks saves them all and tells them all to go ahead without him. Bowser doesn't listen and helps him hold up the ceiling for the brothers to escape. He didn't need to do that, but did it as a selfless act, which shows Bowser has some good in him. Even with all that, we can't ignore the countless atrocities he has committed. And he does have no problem with children doing his evil bidding, so he really couldn't be any lower on the list. With that being said, we believe there is only one character in the Mario universe deserving of the Gold Medal of Evil, and it's King Boo. While Bowser has done a lot of horrible things, he still has some good things in him. King Boo is just pure evil. He traps Luigi's friends in paintings and tries to take over the entire world. His only goal in life, or should I say death, is to take over the world and be a ruthless leader. King Boo has done nothing even remotely good, which is why we believe he is the most evil out of all the Mario characters. And that's the list. Of course, there's probably characters you wanted on here. Couldn't include every single one. And please remember that I'm not including characters that originated in RPGs, so no Dementio, Count Bleck, Grotus, any of them. Now, we do have videos going over this. If you want to check them out, there's a Paper Mario Good to Evil and a Mario and Luigi Good to Evil. However, those videos are like 4 or 5 years old, so some things in it are outdated. If this video does well enough, I'll update those, maybe even just make a Mega Good to Evil combining just every major Mario character I can think of in RPGs, main series, anything. So if you want to see that, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And also remember, this video is just for fun. It's not meant to be taken that seriously. So don't be too upset if you disagree with something on this. This has been Domain with Game Domain. Thank you for watching.